Hi guys, William Morris here, and today I'm just going to be taking a look at auras. Now this is a library from a fairly new company called Slate and Ash, who are based in Bristol here in the UK. Now the best way I can describe this library is by possibly saying that it's kind of playable pads and textures and drone sort of things, but you can really bend everything in here to be something else if you want to. There's a lot of possibility for creating your own stuff as well. And the whole library has been scripted and programmed to work really well with the ROLI seaboard, or indeed any other sort of MPE style devices. You can also map the controls that you would be using on the seaboard to conventional MIDI controllers as well. So if you have something like the Korg Nano control or any kind of other MIDI assignable thing, then that's fine. You can use that as well. So the library runs in Kontakt, and they basically run as kind of multi-patches instead of single ones, but they're all grouped into one interface per patch. So let's dive into the UI first, just to see what we're dealing with. So the library is split into two main categories when you get it under instruments. You have auras, which are the sort of, I guess presets is the closest way I could describe it. And then colors. And colors is kind of the constituent parts of auras, but sort of broken down into these different categories. So you've got bode, noise and texture, organic and acoustic pads, and so on. And these all kind of relate to the main auras, but basically they're sort of constituent parts that you can use to create your own textures and drones and stuff like that as well. So we're going to start off in the auras section, and this is basically all of these here. So you get quite a good amount, which is nice to see, but not so many that you're just diving through patches all day long. So the interface for the auras is pretty simple, pretty straightforward. You have your layers here, so up to 4 layers of different sounds. And if you go on the plus little thingy here, you can basically see what kind of sounds make up each patch. And here we have volume, I believe this is. I think this one is reverb, attack, and release controls. So this is either on a per patch basis, or you can link the controls here to turn everything up and down at once, like so. Okay, so I'll just default this patch back to normal. So I'm just going to play you a little bit of the library now. Not going to go through every patch, but just to give you an idea of what's on offer and also how it can kind of be played with the ROLI. So as you can basically hear on those, there's so much kind of expressive control you can get out of it on the ROLI, and it's been really nicely programmed to kind of respond to that, and it does feel quite intuitive as you play it. Most of these patches I'm playing for the first time, and I've kind of found that they sort of naturally just go where you sort of want them to. So for instance on this one, as you kind of play, press in more, you get a kind of detuned effect, stronger there. As you slide up, you get more dynamics, and then you can do kind of bends as well. So the controls for every patch are completely different, and they're kind of programmed on a per patch basis. which is really nice. It obviously takes a little bit of getting used to because each patch is a little bit different, but it's nice that something in each patch does something a little bit unique and is sort of tailored towards that sort of style of sound. Let's just have a listen to a few more. Just picking these at random. I have to say I really do love the sound of a lot of these patches. The expression you can achieve with them is brilliant. I've only had the seaboard for about a week, so I'm still getting used to playing it. But all of these really do feel like you're playing a patch as an instrument as opposed to just holding a key down and having things happen. All of the scripting and control feels very natural. When you're playing these patches, it kind of feels almost how I'd like it to sound in my head. And I think they've done a great job at nailing that sort of organic but processed sort of texture sound, where a lot of the sound sources you can tell are organic and recorded instruments, but the processing has kind of given them a new sort of life, really. So that's just a handful of the kind of presets as they are. Let's take a look at the colors section now. So let's go into Bode. Let's just start at the top with this one. So you'll see that the UI is a little bit different in regards to the colors patches. There's a lot more control, and these are kind of, I think, to sort of be able to create your own sort of sounds. So you start at the top with the full ADSR for amp and filter, and you've got some further controls here for that as well. So I believe on the left here you have the controllable sort of parameters. So these kind of symbols crop up again for the ROLI. So this is the kind of rise, pitch up and glide up and down, and this one's like the aftertouch one. And you can go through the rest of the mod matrix and hover over these to see what they are. So you've got low and high pass effects there, saturation, bit crush, that kind of thing, harmonize. And these on the right you can use to randomize the values, so just kind of come up with something weird and wacky to play with. Down at the bottom we have an arpeggiator, and that's the rest of the controls for that one. So you can set the arp on and off, the rate, pattern, swing, octave, and the repeats. So all these patches, as I was saying, with the other kind of constituent parts of the full auras. So you can see here you've got circle bow, and it's the stretched cello part of it. If I go back to auras, you can see that full patch is in there, the circle bow. So you kind of get an idea of what you're going for. So I mean, if there's anything you find in auras that you really like and you want to kind of experiment further with, you can dip into the colors bank and then find that kind of that preset in there, and you usually have maybe at least one or two parts of it broken down. So for circle bow, we've got one part stretched cello and the other one is wobbly cello as well. So I'll just give you guys a quick listen to these just to give you an idea. So it's a much more kind of stripped down sound, as you'd expect, because there's generally one element per thing. So let's just have a listen to a couple more. Let's go for one that isn't called strings, maybe. Let's try this one. There's a noise and textures category. So Cassell Shades is obviously from this one up here. So let's just have a listen to a couple again in this category. that one. Runs a bit like Under the Skin or something like that. Okay, let's take a listen to some of these. It's a flute one. And this is a vibraphone one. Kind of random. A piano one here. Just almost like random phrasing, that one. Let's do some pads. Bit of ebo. And let's have a listen to the synth category. And final category is going to be waveforms. So yeah, these are from sines to saws, squares and triangles. Just have a look at square detune. Yeah, so these are much more kind of straight up synth waveforms. And then salt and ash patches, which I guess are maybe sort of like curated ones, possibly. Okay guys, I think that's going to wrap it up from me. I really could just play this thing all day. It's a bit tricky for me at the moment because, as I say, I've not had the ROLI very long, so I'm kind of getting used to that as well. But I have played these patches just on my regular MIDI controller keyboard, and they really do sound fantastic, even minus the expression, but obviously the expression kind of stuff just takes it to a new level and really makes it kind of that much more fun and expressive to play. I think I'm definitely going to be using a lot of these patches coming up, and I'm looking forward to kind of creating my own in the colours category as well. So yeah, hope you guys found this useful. If anyone's looking to get the library, or if anyone's got it already and you have any questions for me, just let me know in the comments, and if not, I'll see you on the next one, guys.